The Sicilian defense is the most aggressive opening with the black pieces, and it works exceptionally well for beginners and intermediate players, because most white players don't know how to handle it. I tested it against 5 opponents of increasing ratings while explaining every single move, all the plans, all the tactics. Let's go. What is the idea of the Sicilian? We're putting a pawn to control the center because we don't want them to play the move d4. And when they do, we are able to take with the pawn. And now, I think they wanted to take back with the queen. And if they would, I would be able to attack the queen with the knight. The queen would have to move one more time and black gets a great development. In general, in the Sicilian, a very good move is to then fight on for the center with the move d5. For now, I will just bring the knight out to protect this pawn and keep going with my development. Knight here is a very normal move, but now I'm playing e5, protecting the pawn, and I literally have an extra pawn after a few moves. This is actually called Smith-Morra Gambit. It is a very known chess opening, and the idea is to give away a pawn in order to bring out the pieces very quickly, but I'm a bit skeptical about the move Queen d3. I will defend this pawn one more time with the move bishop c5, so that this pawn is attacked 3 times and protected 3 times. And in the meantime, I'm just developing more and more pieces, right? And this is always the rule in every opening. You want to try to move all the pieces out one at a time. So avoid moving the same piece twice because it's just a loss of time to bring other pieces. Now the bishop is attacking my queen. I would have 2 ways to deal with it. One is with the queen there, which I love. The other one is with the knight here. Very normal move. But I really want to go for this one, because the queen here is on a very typical square. And usually in the Sicilian, since we push the c-pawn, the queen is getting so many options, and there are 3 development moves. Queen c7, queen b6, or queen a5. It's always different, depends on the situation, but all these are typical squares for the queen to go. Now we're going on b6 because we're attacking this pawn, since it's no longer protected by the bishop, right? Queen c4 is a bad move, I think, because I could already take here, they take there, and I win the rook. There is no mate. There is this pawn that is potentially hanging, but I think I will just go for it. Because when you can win material and is safe, you just go for it. And the point is that after I take this rook, also this knight is in serious danger. Attacked by the queen and pinned to the king. So what is white gonna do there? Okay, they take here, very important to check that there is no mate. And now I was calculating, what about knight takes, which they are not doing, and I understand. I will now take this pawn, simply attacking the knight. And now I'm very happy to trade the queens, and we get to an endgame where I have +4. Why? Because I'm an exchange up, so I have a rook while they have a bishop, but I also have 2 pawns, so the advantage is massive here. We need to develop all the pieces, so we go out with the knight. Very happy to trade every time we have the opportunity, and here we're also going to collect other free cheese macaroni. Perfect, and there we go, we take it. Again, we still need to bring out all the pieces. If there is one advice that applies to any level, to any chess game, to any opening, is play with all your pieces. There is no game that you can win just with the queen, or just with the knight, or just with any other of the pieces. You have to try to use all of them, because simply the game of chess starts with the same material for both sides, right? So if you are not bringing your pieces out, it's like if you have a deficit of material. So play with all of them. Okay, the knight is attacking here, so I'm defending with the pawn while attacking the knight, and still I need to bring these rooks to the game, but I'm pushing this pawn because I'm winning a tempo. Now the bishop has to move one more time. Now I bring 1 rook to the only open file in this position, happy to trade the rooks, to bring the other one, attacking the bishop. How to win this position? Two ways, either we checkmate or we win a pawn. I think here we are very close to checkmate because this king is, is the only piece in the back rank. And now we are attacking the bishop, which is controlling that square. So actually the best move here is to give away the bishop, as they are doing. Amazing. But now what we can do is to collect even more material. And then we just want to go promote this pawn. So we go, and we go. And now we want to give mate, so we bring the queen and GG's. When you're learning a new opening like the Sicilian, it's not about memorizing move after move. You'll forget them the day after. It's about understanding how to develop all your pieces, what are your plans, and what are the opponent's plans that you have to stop. The same approach is used by Brilliant, the sponsor of today's video. Brilliant is a platform where you explore math, science, programming, data analysis, and AI through problem solving, not memorization. The learning is visual, interactive, and generally fun. Right now, I am going through the scientific thinking course. I just do 5 minutes every day and it feels like solving puzzles and learning how the world works. You can try everything Brilliant has to offer for free for 30 days at brilliant.org/Alessia Santeramo or scan the QR code here on screen. If you decide to keep going, you will get 20% off an annual premium subscription. If you enjoy learning in a way that's fun and actually sticks, you will love Brilliant. Thank you for sponsoring this video. And let's now move on with game 2. New game, knight f3 is the main move in the Sicilian. We will play the move d6. And now will they go for the move d4 or will they go out with the bishop? Okay, we have the open Sicilian, so we take here and I take with the knight. Now how to develop all the pieces? Let's start with the knight on f6. Very logical square, we are attacking the knight. Usually they protect with the other knight. And now let's complete the development on the king side with the move e6, bishop e7, and castle. Then we can think about how to bring out all the pieces on the queen side. Bishop g5 is usually not such a strong move in the Sicilian because the bishop on e7 is basically defending the knight, and so this pin is not as powerful. Now, how to develop the queen side? A typical way is the move a6. Why? Because we want to play the move b5 for many reasons. One is to bring the bishop here. Two is to start an attack when there is opposite side castling. And here we have a position where white decided to go for long castle. So our plan is to definitely attack them on the queen side. And we will try to see how to do it. A very typical move for black, is to play the move queen a5. Because the queen is looking at this pawn, which is protected just by the knight. If the knight is moving, then I'm taking this pawn. And now that they push the pawn on a3, I already have the chance to play the move b4, meaning that I'm attacking the knight and then attacking this pawn. Meaning that some things are going to be traded. Okay, I like this move. Actually, I'm going to lose a pawn now, but I don't mind as much because I can't take since my queen is pinned by their queen. So I don't mind as much because I'm happy to open up files on the king. The only thing I don't have to do now is to trade off the queens. So I will go back with my queen and say like, okay, my pawn is sacrificed, but now I can use the C and the B file to start a counterattack. By the way, this queen is also running out of squares. At least it's dangerous. Now I could play d5 attacking the queen. I could play knight f6 attacking the knight c6 attacking the queen. Well, actually d5 is not good because the bishop is just hanging. So let's play knight c6. We complete the development and we make those squares available for the queen. Now, how to take, with the queen or with the bishop? I like with the bishop so that this guy is protected now, so the move d5 could really be an option. And my next two moves are going to be rook b8 and rook c8, putting the rooks where it hurts. I have to take back. This is very important. Make sure to check that this pawn is protected, because this is a typical weakness in black's field. Now we will play rook here attacking the queen, since it's not protected by any pawn. So attention that once the bishop is moving away, this pawn needs to be protected enough times. For example, if the bishop wouldn't have been there, then the rook would have been attacking as well over there. So now this is starting to look really sharp for us. I will go with the queen here, and I'm attacking b2, which is right now protected just by the king. So I'm literally threatening to... I'm threatening to checkmate them. If I take, the king is running out. So actually, I'm going to play the move bishop g5. I'm first removing the square where the king could go, and now kiss of death. GG's. Quick analysis. The move queen a5 is a typical idea in the Sicilian, but in this case, not the most precise move, since we saw that I lost a pawn, right? In a few moves, I lost a pawn. Now, this position is just 0.3 advantage for white, meaning that there is compensation for my pawn, but if you don't want to sacrifice a pawn, I will show you a different option, and this is to go with the move b4 first. Now, if the knight goes here, now queen a5 is very strong, because now they have to play the move b3 to defend this knight, and now bishop b7, you're attacking this knight many times. So this is a way better execution, and if they go away with the knight, now you have different moves. For example, you could keep going with the pawn, wanting to play a5, a4, and then b3, or also queen b6 is a great move, and you can just keep attacking. Also, just developing your pieces is well, bishop here, knight there. But in general, try to attack as quickly as possible. Next game. Queen h5. Okay, so this is a typical tricky move. Now they are attacking this pawn and they are attacking this other pawn, but move e6 makes lots of sense in the Sicilian, and their idea is that they would like to give checkmate as color mate, right? But now with the pawn we are blocking the diagonal for the bishop, so that will no longer be possible. Now we can just keep going with development. The knight is attacking this pawn, which is just guarded by the queen, and the queen is not really stable over there. Okay, they're attacking the bishop and now, the knight. I will go forward with my knight, and I'm exploiting all the weaknesses that they have created. Already they are in big trouble. I will play the move c4. What? Okay, I will take there. So now I will play queen here. I'm attacking this bishop. We can just be protected in one way, with the queen going all the way back home in shame. Yes. Don't go out with the queen too early. Now, they have created quite some weaknesses. I will start by playing the move... Should I play the move d6 or should I play knight here, knight there to attack this other weakness? They're going to defend this pawn simply with this move. So, actually, I will play this one. I like it. So, I'm able to, if they take, I'm able to take back with the bishop and activate my queen. Okay, this is horrible because I'm going to take, and after pawn takes, I win a pawn, and the king has to move around because you can't stop with a knight or with anything else. Their next move is going to be knight here, so let's be prepared for that, and we'll bring a knight out because after this I can simply move the queen in many squares. Which one is the best? So this, not possible because the knights are annoying. This one is a possibility. I like this one really a lot because I'm playing against queen check. Well, I could trade the queens if that happens and I have an extra pawn. Yeah, and I am kind of inviting them to push this pawn, which creates a huge weakness. Now I go back to the perfect square in the Sicilian, which is the c7 square for the queen. All right, they are really moving many times the same piece. Now the knight is moving again. I will play bishop here. I'm attacking the knight and the queen behind. And this knight is still hanging. I didn't take it immediately because if I take, then they could have some double checks, which could be really annoying for me. Maybe they are not even good enough. GG's. Checkmate. Please don't go out with the queen too early, especially against the Sicilian. And if you're black, be very happy. Next game. There we go. New game. White is going with knight out. Let's play the move e6 this time. Let's see if there is any difference. So we take with the pawn. We are in the open Sicilian. And now I love the move knight f6 because we're attacking this pawn, which, very important to notice, cannot be pushed. Because there is a very typical move in the Sicilian, if the pawn would be pushed, which is queen a5, cleaning up the board, giving a check and taking the pawn. So knight c3 is very important, and I want to go for this very annoying variation to play. It's the pin variation, so we are pinning this knight and attacking this pawn. And now we can immediately go for the move d5, which is a big idea in general in the Sicilian. And if the pawn is taking, of course we are taking back with the pawn. So the best move definitely here would have been to push, probably. But now we can take back and we are attacking this knight one more time. And this comes to a very high cost, guys. Because now we have a check. And we are also attacking this knight. I didn't remember this line to be so powerful. But we won a piece with black in 9 moves. Okay, let's try to now calm down, relax, and try to be precise. Here is very important to play first. If we take this knight back, we lose this. So it's very important to first take here and now take with the queen. And now we are very happy to trade the queens because we would end up in an endgame with an extra piece. They are not cast, they are not doing that. So we are trading the queens. This pawn would be tempting, but we are getting mated. So let's trade the queen off the board and let's get to an endgame. Try to bring on the material, bring out the bishop, and develop all our pieces we still need to develop. Okay, I'll castle now so that, yeah, they can take this pawn, but they trade off the final minor piece they have. And now, how to win here? We need to create a pass pawn. Without a pass pawn, we can't win. And in order to do so, we need to somehow win some of their pawns. So I'm going to activate the rooks. This rook needs... Ooh, so we can trade here already. So we can trade this rook, but I will wait because I want to first improve my rooks and maybe to avoid the back rank checkmate. So maybe I have something even stronger. Okay, great. I will go now. Let's go with the move h5. I'm starting to advance my pawn and also to avoid the back rank checkmate idea forever. The pawn is attacking my bishop, so we move the bishop away here. The bishop is still protecting this guy, so it's all good. The rook is moving, attacking this bishop. I can now protect it like this, and if the king is going, I will go with the other rook to protect my rook, which is protecting the bishop. And there we go. And now we have a very good chance. I'll go to give this check, and after the rook is taking, I take with the other rook, and my rook is gonna clean up the board on the second rank. That's why I said you have to create passed pawns. I'm going to take first this one, because this one is the pawn that wants to promote, and then I will go to take this other one. And here it's very important to notice that stopping the idea of the back rank checkmate was very important. Can I take here? Yes, I do, because I'm defending the bishop, and after king here, both pieces are under attack, but I could simply move my bishop back. So now I go with the bishop away, I'm giving a check, I'm giving another check, collecting other pawns, and I'm going to take all the pawns I can take. And here for me, it's important that I can block their pawns from promoting. This is very important, but there is a way, so I will... This is actually getting slightly tricky. shortly. But okay, I will show you how to block this pawn, because now if they push, I need absolutely to go give this check and then go here with the rook, stopping the pawn. And after pawn takes, now their threat is to give a check with the rook and then promote this pawn. So very important to be able to do that move. And now they could try to push this other pawn. So it's important to stop one or the other with the bishop, but we are able to do so. So I will simply, okay, let's give this check first. Let's see where the king is going, because if the king goes here, I will just give mate. The king is going there. So I will go up with the king. So I want to really give mate if possible. So general plan, if this pawn is getting close, I need to stop it with the bishop. And then to sacrifice it, the rook is taking, I take here and I win with extra pawns. But here I can maybe threaten checkmate with this move. Well, the king is still that square. So I will go for plan number 1, which is the solid way to win this endgame without any risk. The bishop is now stopping this pawn. Since they are not pushing, we are going to advance our own pawn. Now we keep going. And we are just too fast. There is no way to stop us now. And we are going to win here. This check is the final check. I'm going to take it. And then we give a checkmate with the remaining pieces. Or they might as well resign. GG's. Quick analysis. Only move in this position is to play e5. We would go back with the knight, attack this pawn. And then we can keep going with castle. And white needs always to be careful about the weakness of this king. Since again, the move bishop d2 would be a huge problem one more time. So the best move is probably f4, and after castle the position is roughly equal. Black can keep going with logical moves like knight here, maybe trade off this knight. f6 is always a very important move to consider because you want to attack this pawn one more time, but you need to make sure that this pawn is not hanging. That's why knight here, knight takes, f6. This is a very good plan. Maybe even bishop here, since this pin is no longer too powerful, but you want to get rid of this knight in order to play the move f6. Okay, next game. There we go, final game with the Sicilian. We have an opponent with 1580, almost 1600 elo. Let's play the move e6. Are they going for the bishop c4? That was unexpected. You might know by now the bishop on c4 is not well placed in the Sicilian, and the reason is that there is a wall of pawns ready to stop that bishop. And now I'm playing the move d5, which is a general good idea in the Sicilian, but with tempo, because the bishop will have to move again. So now I have a great control over the center at basically no cost. This position is already objectively equal, but or maybe even slightly better for black. I'll just develop all my pieces. The knights are out, and I will also go out with the bishop. This bishop has been moving already way too many times. You can't do that. Okay, we'll go with the bishop there. Yes, here, even if they play rook there, I'm going to stop with the other bishop, and I don't care about these double pawns. Actually, my pawns are very strong. In the middle of the board, they gave away the bishop, and they've been moving the bishop so many times. Perfect. What do we do now? I'm calculating if I should play this or if I should go back with the bishop, because if I play this, there is knight g5. Okay, but I think I can go for that. So I will sacrifice a pawn if they give me the chance to go for a killer attack directly against the king. Okay, they didn't go for knight g5, unfortunately. Okay, never mind, we'll castle anyway, completing the development. Now we'll play the move h6, asking a question to this bishop. What do you want to do? We need to improve the rooks, which are still not playing. So one is getting directly on the open b file, attacking that pawn. Now it's an important decision for them. Will they push, weakening all this diagonal and all the black squares there around? And they go for it. Okay. You know what? It's time to go for this move. I didn't think about this. I was not expecting this, not at all. I thought like they would take here maybe, which they don't, which is good. But my point is I wanted to prove that the 2 double pawns are not as weak as many people think, especially when they cannot get attacked. Perfect. Now, this is a very good move because they are trying to trade the bishop. I will activate the other rook. If not, all their dark squares would be way too weak. But even now, all their dark squares are going to be weak because one way or another, they are not going to have the dark square bishop. Okay, I'll go with the knight here. I'm attacking the bishop, so they are probably going to trade, is their final call to trade it. And now it's very important, something that I like a lot to do in chess, don't be the first one to trade. Let them trade. And also here in the center, it's a beautiful example. If I would trade, oh my gosh, the knight is getting so strong and I have 2 double pawns, which are actually weak because they can get attacked by the knights. Instead here, I'm holding and waiting and not really taking. I want them to take because then I undouble my double pawns and this pawn is going to be weak. Now I will bring this knight forward to the attack. Attention, the move h3 here would be a big mistake. Maybe not really, because there is not knight take this and taking this knight because this other knight is actually protecting. That was the idea. And oh, I thought that was hanging actually. It is not, but the knight has to go. Once I take, the knight has to go back. I don't like this. Okay, now we go with the knight. With the queen there. This is starting to look very juicy. I love it. Attacking this pawn and also starting to threaten nasty things around the king. I like that. I have... Okay, I take here. Yeah, actually, this is a good point now, because now this pawn is actually hanging, so I have to prove that I have something. Because if I don't have something, then, well, they took a pawn. It's true that this one is also very weak, and I can take it. But I don't want to trade too much. I don't want to trade too much, too many pieces. Okay, I'm calculating. For example, if I could take there at some point. Bishop here is also a very valid move right now. I love this move. Looks really amazing. I'm threatening to take here. This pawn cannot be taken. This check is not available. And how to defend this pawn? They have to push, but then all the light squares are weak for a million years. And then probably I could just take here. Yeah, this is one option. Option number 1 is to take. Option number 2 is to give a check. The king goes there and then to move the queen here. What's the best? I think I'll take. Yeah, I was trying to calculate different options, but this seems so strong. Because the light squares are weak forever. There is still no check. This pawn cannot be taken because this is a free knight. And after knight takes, I take back with the queen. My queen is attacking the knight. And if the knight moves, it's checkmate. Dot. So all the white pieces will be forced to stay very passive. Okay, we take here. Now the queen has to take back. The queen needs to go backward. And let's improve the queen. Or maybe let's improve the pawn. Let's play queen here. This is a smart move because we are attacking this knight. Now the queen cannot really be moved. The knight cannot really be moved because if the knight is moving, I'm sneaking here and that's deadly. So what to do? And I have a pass pawn, so I can use it to increase the pressure if I need. If not, in the meantime, I will try to just collect all material there will be. What do they play, really? It's so tough to come up with a move here. Maybe queen e3 can be something for them. Yeah, f3 already is creating new weaknesses. All the light squares or the dark squares are also potentially weak for them. I'll give this check because I see some forced things. Forced problems for them. We'll get to an endgame here, huh? This is a very intense game. I love it. But we've been attacking the entire game, which is satisfying. And now, can I play this? There we go. If this knight is moving, bim boom bam, we have a checkmate. And now, again, the knight can no longer move. I need to be careful about, you know, this check. But if they do, I'm going to move the king there. No checks there. Yes. So actually there will be a check now. But I can simply play g6 and I will be fine. And this pawn cannot be taken, so I'm starting to advance. Okay, I will bring the queen back here, maybe towards a potential check. It's very important that I keep this knight under pressure. The knight cannot be moved around. The knight needs to stay there where it is. And then probably I can bring the bishop back at some point. Ooh, this is a smart move, trying to block the bishop from coming back, but now h5. And I'm going to take. They're taking the pawn, and actually I didn't fully realize that that pawn was hanging. But it's still fine because look at those guys are now super weak. My bishop is going to attack this pawn, which is not clear I'm going to take immediately, but at some point I will try to get as close as possible to promote with that other pawn before I do any clear thing there. Okay, let's give this check since the queen is out of the way. Finally. And then we will keep going, pushing. I love it. And now attention to this check. If I give this check and then I'm promoting the pawn, that's game over, no? So again, they need to be careful about many things. Knight there. Interesting. It's possible to move the knight now because I can't take there. So this check doesn't work because after this the king is coming in on time. I will probably just wait a little bit because they don't have a move. I will go with the king here. Yeah, wanting to... Okay, I got shortly. A jump scare. Not a jump, but a scare. I was scared because this fork could have been a problem, but the queen is controlling that square. Very good. Now... Oh, they really want to give that check, huh? So what do we do? Let's play f6. I want to stop that. No check. No check. No check. What are they going to move? They're just pushing pawns. Because the queen cannot move that far. I'm going to give a check and then to push this pawn. Okay, this is good actually. Now this guy is hanging. I will go back here. This was actually a good move because if I trade the queens, then the pawn is hanging. So now I had to go backward with the queen. Yeah, they're pushing the pawn, which is a very smart move. Very smart idea. I will go back with the queen. I want to attack this pawn. I need to start to take back material. h6 can be annoying because I can't take, since this would be a fork, a deadly fork. But now the queen is also threatening to go on the other side to collect some more material. Attention, they want to take there. I can't let this happen. So we go with the bishop here to protect the pawn. They are advancing the pawn and I will advance my queen, attacking this pawn. And this pawn potentially, if they move the queen away. Maybe they have to go back with the knight, but if they do, I'm then farming all the pawns, and the queen endgame is probably winning for me. They go back there. But now I can simply take the pawn and my queen is getting close to take even more material. Or at least to give some annoying checks. This knight is now not doing anything good. No, it became more passive, more far away from the action. It was way better where it was before. Yeah, the knight is trying to come back, but I think it's too late. Because now there are already problems. Where is the king going? All this is impossible. Yeah, but now I give a check and I'm starting to farm more pawns. Ah, if I take here, I lose this one. Interesting. So I'll give a check again. I'm sorry. And I will go back to defend this pawn. Oh, okay, or maybe not. I'll now give a check and then win this pawn. Very good. Oh, now we have a beautiful tactic. We take here and oh no, my pawn. Oh no, my poor pawn on d3. Because we have the counter check. This is so rare in chess, but so strong when it happens. Check, and we counter check. And now the queen is just going to be lost. We take it. And now, GG's. If you enjoyed this video, you will love this one, how to play aggressively against 1d4. Check it out. Thank you for watching.